Okay, so for video 3, let me just show you what I've got so far. Of course, I made my path with the cat layer, and at some point I don't even think I need to see the layer that has the actual silhouette anymore. I'm going to just keep myself honest here and take a look at this. You can see that I do have a lot of anchor points, but the anchor points are necessary. Like whenever I have this changing direction, I've got to have an anchor point. But what I don't have is like a straight line with 15 million anchor points, and what I also don't have is a curve with like several anchor points defining it. So if I've got a curve, I want just one anchor point, and that's one thing I'm going to ask you guys, including yours. Okay, so once I have that, I'm going to lock this layer, and then I'm going to make a new layer, which I already have done, and just to show you what I've got so far. Now, it looks like a little bit like a mess so far, and that's okay. I'll show you how to fix this later. But what I'm basically trying to do is, let's go back to this sheet, the Zentangle sheet, just for a second. Oh, where is that? Yeah, here we go. Just to take a look. So we're essentially making, again, an abstract drawing. So you're going to see whatever the shape is. So in my case, obviously, it's a cat. And you're going to be using repetitive patterns. That means that you see the element repeating itself over and over again. And we're basically playing around with the idea of line and shape. I really like this apple, by the way. You might later on decide to have some areas that are filled and some areas that are just simply line, and both of those are totally okay. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, there we go, just to show that. So what you're going to want to start doing with your Zentangle, and there is no set rule with this. You can work with the pen tool to get started, and you can divide up lines. Whoops, I'm not on the right layer. That way, what I did, because I feel kind of lazy, or maybe just because I like circles, is I went ahead and grabbed this and started drawing some circles or ovals on my cat. I like the idea of kind of anchoring them. I don't really think it looks good if they're just kind of floating around. It's kind of nice to anchor them off the side. But again, I'm going to work smarter than harder. If I have this here and I want to reuse this circle, I'm just going to option drag. Maybe make it a little bit smaller so it fits a little better. You know, so I can take this up here. Now obviously you can see that it's not looking so great in terms of it's kind of running off the side here, and we will discuss how to fix that later. Right now I'm just kind of working on kind of breaking up my shape into smaller pieces. You can see that's exactly what this artist has done with this Zentangle. Very nicely done. It's broken up into smaller pieces. In this case, stripes were used, although not always straight down. You can see this went this way. I love like the addition of the hoofs here. You can see that, again, same thing here, broken up, but not like all, you know, all in one place. Ooh, I moved that. So take a look at some Zentangles. Just go online and type in, honestly, this is what I did. I just typed in Zentangle onto Google Images and take a look and see. There's a lot of different things. So if there's something that inspires you in terms of coming up with an idea or the design, some really beautiful work here done by some other artists. Oh, that's gorgeous with that cupcake. Anyway, so hopefully, wow, look at that. That's really cool too. Hopefully you'll find something that inspires you, but once you have it, the idea again is repetition. So if I have this here, let's say like I like that, you know, maybe I'm going to come in with another circle over here, and this time I'm going to put this one off to the side, and maybe I'm going to grab my pen tool now and start clicking away and adding, because I'm repeating a design. Again, repetition, people. Repetition means you see the same elements repeated over and over again in the design. By the way, if you don't see these little sticky outy things here, I'm going to show you a little trick later on in how to get rid of those or make them kind of invisible. One thing I am going to do though is like right here, for example, don't get sloppy. Take your time, make this work. But you know, what shapes you want to use? You know, do you want to use a bunch of triangles? Remember the polygon tool. Check this out. Three sides. There it is. I got a triangle all ready to go. So if I wanted to incorporate that at some point. Now, this is what I'm talking about, repetition. If I put this here, after I've got all these circles and other shapes, that kind of looks like it stands out. But if, first of all, I'm going to take it, and I don't know why, I just feel like rotating it. If it lets me. Come on. There we are. So if I rotate it, maybe I'm going to make it a little smaller. Maybe I'm going to bring it over here. And again, I'm going to worry about this later. But if I have this triangle here, I want to repeat this shape somewhere else in my design. So I'm going to bring it over here now maybe. And I don't really like it at the exact same rotation because I already have one like that. Maybe I'm going to make this bigger. But I want to kind of see similar elements being repeated over and over again. So if I have a circle somewhere in my design, I'm going to have another circle somewhere else. If I have this design here, I'm going to put it several other places too. Repetition is what we're talking about. But again, if you can find a way to simplify your design and make it work for you, do so. And really this part is just going in and just making these cool designs, again with the understanding that you're going to have a lot of stuff that leaks over the side and it's going to look like a bit like a mess. And as I said, later on I will show you how to fix all that. But right now you're just working on breaking things down and starting to add some designs and some patterns inside of this. Okay? Have fun.